Welcome to the Sports Hangover. I'm Michael Benatar, joined alongside J-Dog.
Mike, it's good to see you. It's Monday, and the White Lotus is over, and I'm actually happy it's done.
You're happy it's done. I had mixed feelings about the episode last night, and it's Monday. It's a day after, so if you're listening and you haven't watched it yet, spoilers ahead. I know.
I feel like most people caught up with this season. They watched the episode either like Sunday night, maybe Monday night. It's like people can't wait around on a show like this when everyone is talking about it. So if you get spoiled by us, we're gonna say it's on you. It's not on us.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah, okay. Deal.
They already downloaded. What can they do now?
What are your thoughts on the final?
Well, the season as a whole was kind of slow. We all kind of agree with that. It was 8 episodes instead of 6. I would advise Mike White and HBO to go back to 6 and really give us more in each episode. I thought several times I was left wanting more. And even in the finale, I wasn't quite paid off in certain respects or certain things. Obviously, the people who died, we'll get into it. It's okay. The symbolism is okay, the Buddhism of it, but I don't know, the way he got shot at the end by the person who shot him. I guess we're just going for it. But I didn't like that whole aspect.
Well, I felt like, I saw some interviews saying that there were like so many more hours of scenes that we didn't get to see. Like somebody was the one of the
Mike White took everyone there for 7 months and was shooting for so long. Like that's a boondoggle if I ever heard of one. It doesn't take 7 months to shoot 8 hours of TV.
Yeah, so that's the crazy part. And the other side, I was like, okay, like we're not going to get resolution on everything. Like they're trying to do that Buddhism thing, and they had the scene at the end where all the 3 kids, like headphones were off, glasses were on somebody else. They were like all new people leaving this trip.
Role reversal. They all kind of changed places in that.
Yeah. It was just like it was a lot of death instead of just like one person death, I guess. I guess other people died.
But like not death. We were fooled several times. One, when the father in the Duke sweatshirt, we thought he was killing his whole family, murdering them. And then we thought Lachlan died from the fruit. None of that happened. And so all of a sudden we're just like, we don't know what to believe. Like, and then I was thinking, did the shooting of Guy Talk and Rick at the end, did that really happen? Or were they going to wake up? And no, they didn't wake up. It was dead. But it's like, the storytelling kind of bothered me in the way that you didn't know what was real the whole time.
I kind of knew there was something up with that guy. Like maybe it was his father. I kept telling Aaron, like, I think
you did say that last week, whether it was before the show or on the show, you did say that.
Yeah. And it was kind of like, I wish he said something before he shot, but I'll take the, he's your father. He told me on the plane, whatever, but I'll take that part.
Yeah.
If they're going to do another season, I was hoping they would kind of like tease what would come next, because I feel like if you're connecting one person to every season or having different or these like same people at the White Lotus resorts, give me a little hook for next season. Greg's obviously not going to be there. He's done. He paid $5 million to be left alone, which is a great deal
for Belinda. I thought she did a great
negotiation by
the son, the NBA son, Zion came right in there.
I just want something like next. Like, is she going to open a White Lotus? Is she going to be working near a White Lotus?
I don't think we need more Belinda. I thought that storyline was a little slow.
It was.
And played out. Like they're trying to attach it to Greg and the famous Coolidge character from last season, and it just was too much. It was too much in that regard.
It was also the Gatak or whatever. Like his storyline kind of sucked too, because Lisa was kind of like wanted him to be something he didn't want to be. He's like, I'm gonna go pray to Buddha and do all this stuff, but in the end, he ended up shooting that guy, Rick.
He shouldn't have shot him, and that's what bothered me, because he had just hours prior, he said that he's not cut out for this job. That means he can't shoot someone, especially someone running away from you without a gun pointing to you. He shouldn't have made that shot, and he didn't have it in him. So I don't know where in the story like he changed and he was able to do that. I know he won in the end. He's the bodyguard for the rich hotel lady, and he got the girl who apparently is a famous Thai singer
Blackpink.
in a band. She's famous for that apparently.
One of the most famous people in the world.
She is?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
She was just okay as an actress. Maybe not amazing.
Well, I felt like they didn't really set her up to do much. Like, I feel like they wanted to use her more, but it was like the storyline wasn't going anywhere. There were no kisses. There was no moves on Gatak or whatever. Like, he didn't attempt it. He's like, I wanted to take you out. They went to a pretty shitty date. I'll tell you that. Like some dump.
Yeah,
fight.
Like that's a boys' night. That's not a date. You're right. But the locals always win. And so we saw it throughout other White Lotus seasons. And here again, he comes out driving her away and he got the girl. And so he wins. So maybe that was predictable to see. I just don't like how he shot in the end. Everyone was acting very normal on the boat for just having a mass shooting at the White Lotus that never gets addressed, I feel like, at the end. But like even Saxon, like his friend who he was kind of in love with there, got murdered. And he wasn't really bothered by it at the end. He was bothered by his own book.
I mean, they look kind of bothered bothered, but they were definitely getting their phones back, and they were about to find out even a bigger story that they were.
Yeah, that never got paid off to me. No. Again, like there was so much potential there for the father going to jail soon, having to pay all these fines. Are there news reports? Are the reporters trying to find him at White Lotus? There's so much they could have done there, and that never happened. And the family even like looking at their phones, not even a real reaction from them. They all just look at him at the end like they're gonna be okay.
Who do you think is gonna come back next season? Anybody at the top of your mind that you think should come back?
Parker Posey was awesome. Lachlan is so mysterious. There's more you could play with him there, the way he survived at the end. The three girls, I really like their storyline, but it's kind of like they paid it off the best. Yeah. And so at least they did close that loop. I thought Carrie Coons, Leslie, I think her name is in the show, she gave a great kind of monologue at the end about, Mike, it's all about friends and timing. We're at the point, 15 years of the sports hangover.
Yeah.
Friendship is what we have at the end.
That's it. That's all we have. I wouldn't mind seeing Saxton or Schwarzenegger's son. I wouldn't mind seeing him in another season, like alone, maybe on like a date with somebody he brought. I think that would be kind of fun.
Maybe if he's actually changed his ways, if he's actually looking for spirituality and love, which Mike, I need something like that. I need to change my ways.
I think you just got to become a passport bro and just travel around and find love around the world. That makes it easy, right? You're unique out there. You're just like not another guy in the U.S., you know?
Wow, passport bro. They're taking away all the passports nowadays. We're not welcome in any other countries. We'll see. We'll see who's in the new one. But I thought I listened to Mike White's podcast, the official podcast at the end.
Oh, you did?
He had a quote that was interesting to me, Mike. He said, "If you don't like me edging you for 7 episodes, get out of the bed and don't come." And so
I love it.
That's basically what happened. And that's a way to look at this whole season is he was edging us for 7.5 episodes. And at the very end, he paid it off. You might not have liked how he paid it off, but he was just massaging you and making you feel good without giving you any real satisfaction for 7 episodes there.
I heard I think it was like executive producer on Bill Simmons' podcast talking about, how Mike White came up with it. And, he only likes hot destinations. So there'll never be a winter White Lotus. So I don't know where else they could go. They've already done Hawaii. They've done Thailand. Where are they going to go next? Like, that's the big question. Italy was nice.
Europe and Asia are spoken for. America is spoken for. South America, there's a lot there. He did also say, he mentioned that he doesn't want to keep doing destinations with waves crashing in the rocks. So maybe it's not an ocean type of venue. Maybe it is mountains. Maybe it is
a lake?
Ski vacation. Maybe a lake.
Lake house.
A Canadian lake. A lake house. We're supposed to go on that for our bachelor party.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that bachelor party. I think there's a pause in what we're doing, but we'll figure it out.
Change in location. For the best. It seems for the best.
We hope, yeah. Nashville. Good location for a bachelor party.
Mike, I'd say like 4.5 out of 10 stars for this whole season.
Whoa. 4.5 out of 10.
Yeah. You?
I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being with them, hanging out with them. Every week was like, it was a slow burn, but sometimes you need a slow burn. You don't need like action all the time. Sometimes you just want to hang out. Just like the studio. I just like hanging out with those guys. I could care less that they're trying to make a Kool-Aid movie. That's the new Apple TV show.
Sure.
Really enjoy it.
Yeah.
You just like enjoy it. It's like, take me back to like hang out with Superbad kids. Like I would just watch episode on episode of Superbad. And I feel like sometimes you just want to hang out. So I enjoyed the hangout part of it. Yes. It was slow. It was real. The first 3 episodes really burning slow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it like if the other seasons are, let's say 9s. The 2 other seasons, I'd say 9s, right?
Yeah.
I'd say this is like a 7 for me. Like it wasn't amazing, but it's not a bad watch. Like you're still enjoying.
It's not a bad watch. You just expect more. You invest 8 Sunday nights, right? We're all watching it the night it comes out.
Yeah,
we don't
90
do
minutes
many
last
shows
night.
anymore. 90 minutes. You're right. There's a lot of sports going on. I'm bypassing to watch this every Sunday night. Got to stay on top of it. Put my phone on
And
silence.
it's late
I just
for
expect
you.
a little more, Mike. I expect more.
It's so late for you too because it drops to you at 9 o'clock.
9. Are you watching at 6? Is the sun out when you're watching White Lotus? That is not how Mike White intended it.
Yes, I do. It goes down though. 90 minutes later, the sun was down.
Yeah,
so.
last night, not before the time change, maybe not. There was a scene. We'll transition here from White Lotus to March Madness. There was a scene where he's wearing the Duke shirt several times, and he one point he's holding the gun to his head, the father of the family of 5, and that was like a meme because Duke choked away their game in the Final Four the same weekend that the White Lotus finale happened. So there was that like great maybe fortune telling by Mike White when he shot that a year ago that Duke would be having a rough weekend.
I thought Duke also put out like a press release saying they didn't want representation like that because he was like basically
They did.
He attempted to kill his family and himself in this whole season.
He did several times. We don't. I don't know. I think Duke was like didn't have to put out a statement on that. That was like too much getting involved in it. But I gotta mention, speaking of late sporting events, Duke blew their 6-point lead with 30 seconds left on Saturday night. That happened at 11:45 Eastern, Mike, and I keep telling you every week, I fell asleep before that. I was trying to stay up for it. I was getting tired. You know, after 11, when you're in your mid-30s, you might call it, and I called it. And I thought Duke was up by several points. They were going to take care of it. And I woke up to a score that they lost. It's like East Coast sports. What are we doing? And again tonight, the national championship game is tonight. Tip-off is at like 8:50, 8:55 on a Monday night.
5:45 for me?
Yeah,
That's
but
great.
it's going to end at 11:30 my time. I'm not staying up that late on a Monday. I can't
Who's
do
in the
it.
championship right now? Can I bet on them? That's
Florida
what I love.
Gators. So that's why I'm wearing my UCF hat. We are not Florida Gators people here, right?
So wait, who are we betting? Wait, are we not going for a Florida team? We're not saying.
Well, Florida's kind of a rival against UCF, and all of us applied to go to Florida. We didn't get in, so I don't know why I'd root for them now.
All right, how much? Let me see.
Houston's the underdog. Houston's not supposed to be there. Houston came back on Duke late, so if you like a dog,
It's pretty even though. The Houston Cougars, that's their team.
that's who they are. Yeah.
It's -116 for Gators, -105 for Houston. It's pretty split, +1 on each side.
Wow. I thought the Gators would be favored by more. It's supposed to be Gators Duke was kind of the matchup everyone anticipated here.
So should I take Houston here?
Yes. We don't support Florida Gators, Mike.
All right, I'm going to take them at +1. We're going to drop all the bets so far. I feel really good about that we've done them live on
All
the
the
show.
live bets. We should make it a new segment. Us get it sponsored by.
That's great.
by
All right, done.
DraftKings
I'm
or
on the
FanDuel.
Houston Cougars tonight, +1.
Okay, I love it. UCF, by the way, finished as the 66th best team in the country. Of course, the Gators are playing to be number one, but UCF played Nebraska yesterday in a made-for-TV tournament by Fox. They lost to Nebraska, so they're the 66th best team. Shout out UCF Knights.
That's great. Go UCF. They're doing great. I feel like they really peaked when you were in college. I think after
No, they peaked when mutual friend's brother was in college and they won a national championship. They were actually bad when we were there, when you were in college with me.
yeah.
And they got better since, and now they're in the Big 12, and we don't know how things are really.
All right, let's talk about something. I mean, this is like a thing no one ever thought could be beaten. We can talk about Gretzky and his point record. I think this was big for the NHL world. This was going all weekend. I feel like on Friday they started talking about it. Everybody's ready and watching for Ovechkin to break the record. He did it. And over the weekend, there's multiple interviews of Ovechkin coming out saying like, there's no way he can beat it. Like there's impossible. Like he didn't think he could skate for another 6 more years. But he beat it, and he continues to play. I don't know how much longer he's going to play until he could go another 2-3 seasons. But it was something that people literally thought was impossible. And Gretzky,
What did he do?
He broke the goal record, all-time goal record,
All-time
895 goals scored, and
Is that
that's a lot of goals. It's a lot of goals.
Is that like one a game? How can you? What does that make it make sense? Is that more than
in
one a game?
In 2016, he needed to average 50 goals a game.
A season.
A season, yeah. So most people,
How many
I
games
think
in a season?
there are 82 games. Is that right? I'm gonna have to look it up now. I don't know. NHL.
So it's scoring a goal in more games than not scoring a goal on the back half of his career, and he didn't think it could be done back then.
He didn't think, yeah. So there's 82 games, but the thing was, I mean, not to diss his record, but Gretzky wasn't like a goal scorer. He was an assist. So he has like thousands of assists because he
No one's
assisted a ton.
getting Gretzky's assist record.
No, but Ovechkin to break this record, like people aren't even close. So and he's been in the league for a long time
Sidney
now.
Crosby's not close.
I don't, let me see how Sidney Crosby is.
I thought they've been in the league together.
Doing a lot of researching.
Yeah.
He has, let's see how many goals he has. But I think it's a big deal. And it was nice that Gretzky came out and he was in the, he was there watching him score the goal and witnessed it because was Gordie Howe there watching Gretzky, I think, watching him break his
There's
record.
always a passing of the baton. I like that.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. Sidney Crosby has 622 goals.
And Ovechkin has 950 now?
He has 895 or
895.
6.
So Crosby ain't getting there because Crosby's old like Ovechkin.
Well, Crosby's 37, so he has to score. I mean, he could do it, but he'd have to score like 60 goals a game for the next like
I don't think he's
2-3
going to do
years.
it. And Ovechkin played to 39. I'm surprised he didn't think he could play this long. Don't hockey players often play into their 40s, the great ones?
I feel like your hockey, you can go a little longer than football because it's really more about like your puck handling instead of your skating sometimes. Because listen, I'm a bad skater, but if you're smart, you can play.
You were good, I assumed.
Oh, not great. Not great. But yeah, I don't think Crosby's going to break it. I mean, here his high single goal total was 51 goals, and that was in the 2009-10 season. So Sidney is not going to break it.
No, I know the Penguins are struggling. Crosby might want out of Pittsburgh. He might want out of the NHL. We'll see how long.
No, he's staying there. He's like a weird guy. He took like a weird $8.87 million for 8 years. He's like a weird OCD kind of guy. He's not leaving.
Okay.
He's staying there
If he wants
forever.
to stay on a bad team, I guess he can. I saw Ovechkin afterwards. It looks like he has quite the beer drinking belly.
Yeah.
At this point, the hairline might be worse than me. It's debatable. The guy's
Peak
falling apart,
athleticism.
but he can still do it.
Yeah.
He can still do it on the ice. I guess it's impressive.
I just love like that Eastern European attitude. It's like, you just want to drink beers, you play sports, and you just love it. And that's what's great. Like, it doesn't really, it's like, who cares? Yeah, I have a few beers. You got a beer belly, but you're the highest scoring, goal scorer in the world now. So it's
Mike,
great.
you love that because you were exposed to it at 8 years old by your best friend, our lawyer friend, whose household was just like that at a young age. It never stopped. The household moved to Colorado, but the household continues. And Jokic is also in Colorado.
Yeah.
We know people love Jokic. He's the same type of guy. By the way, I saw a picture of Jokic and his twin brother. Did you see that? His twin brother is a monster. He's like 400 pounds. He makes Jokic look like a small person.
Damn.
That came out recently. So Eastern Europeans, they can put some weight away for sure. By the way, a story on Wayne Gretzky I just want to mention. I know Wayne Gretzky plays at a private club called Grove 23 in Jupiter, and I know someone who's playing golf there last Tuesday. And last Tuesday, Wayne Gretzky was hammered drinking vodka in the clubhouse watching Ovechkin because he knew he had to get on a plane to go follow him once he scored like one more goal in the middle of the week. Apparently that happened. He was there. He was in place on the weekend, no longer drunk on vodka in Florida, but cleaned up for the game in D.C.
I have an LA Kings jersey sitting next to me signed by Gretzky.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Did he play there the most?
He played in, why can't I think right now? He played in Canada. What's the team? I can't even think right now. But yeah, he played in LA for a little bit. Not Calgary.
Montreal. Winnipeg. There's so many.
Somebody, I don't know.
My God.
I'm blanking right now. Okay. I was about to talk about NFL. Now I'm like totally lost.
We can go to NFL.
All right. Do you want to talk? I have like two things on NFL. I have one thing that you probably don't want to talk about, but Tyreek's been tweeting a little bit. Do you want me to show you?
I'm okay if they trade him. I want you to pull it up, but
Okay.
yeah,
You're okay if they trade him?
Yeah. We're broken.
All right, this is it. This is the image right here.
Oh, the two fingers? He does that all the time. He's been causing trouble with those two fingers up. The peace sign, yeah.
So he's not leaving. This is
because he also does that, Mike, to defenders sometimes when he's running down the field. He'll give the peace sign. It's kind of his move. I don't know. He does it a lot.
But do you think it's like the move to like the Dolphins here, like peace out, I'm gone? Because it seems like he wants to go.
It does seem like he's bipolar in the way he doesn't know what he wants. Some days he wants to go, some days he wants to stay. Mike McDaniel doesn't know what he wants to do either. He's been on Twitter. He's been on his live stream saying he's going to go. I'm okay if they trade him. They invested so much in these old veterans. We just lost our offensive tackle. Armstead retired. You don't get anything when a guy just retires in his prime. So it's just like they need assets. They need to get younger. They're going to be terrible for a while. So why not trade Tyreek now?
Jeremy, it seemed like your team turned from the hottest, fastest, this is the coolest, look what they're doing in Miami, to a dumpster fire in the matter of like 3 years, basically.
That was like 2 years ago. It wasn't even 3 years. It was last season, not this past one. The one before, they scored 70 points on the Broncos. Yeah. Everyone crowned their ass as being the most exciting offense, new age, anything. And we need to stop crowning people in the middle of the season. We need to let things play out. When Josh Allen has sustained success for 5 years, it's like, okay, Josh, we can crown your ass now. Tua, the Dolphins, no crowning of anything there. It's a deep, dark place with my sports teams because they are terrible. The Orlando Magic are on the border of missing the playoffs for the 20th straight year since Dwight Howard was there. May have exaggerated that number. And the Braves are 1-9, and as I told you last week, their offseason acquisition was suspended for steroids. Apparently, we had people in our comments trying to sell steroids on our post. We don't want that. We didn't ask for that. We're just reporting the news.
I was going to say, I saw something on, I think I sent it to you. It was like a tweet. If you faded the Braves for those 8 games that they lost in a row, you would have been up like $14,000 or something, which would have been great. You roll it over every $100, you just keep rolling, and you would have cashed out. It would have been great. You should have told me earlier.
Who knew they'd have the worst start ever? They were looking good in spring training, Mike. I don't know what happened. They went to California and they turned something happened to them. Just like when I went to California, something happened to me.
Yeah, now you're Connecticut.
Now I'm back on the East Coast, comfortable place. Another NBA move for you. This is a little sneaky, but the Dallas Cowboys might be moving on from Dak Prescott with a new QB addition. They brought in Joe Milton, your boy from the Patriots.
He looked good.
He's got a cannon of an arm. You flagged this during the season, I remember. He is slinging the ball, and no one really wants him. The Patriots didn't want him.
It was weird.
The Cowboys just gave up like a 6th-round pick for him, but I think he's going to replace Dak at some point.
It's just weird because I feel like the Cowboys really want that like next up and coming person. Like they got Trey Lance. They realize he's a bust and he's just traveling around collecting some paychecks, just sitting back there. He's never going to play. I don't think he'll ever be a starter ever again.
No.
Or ever. I don't think he ever was, technically.
He should never be a backup.
But Joe Milton, I like.
that.
Dak seems to get kind of like injured or like mojo kind of gets off a little bit. Was that their only move this offseason for the Cowboys? It felt like it was.
The only one. It's been really not exciting for the
Not
Cowboys.
good.
Are they also trying to trade Dak? There's been reports they want to trade Dak
that.
to the Titans. You're not buying that one?
I don't know. I saw like to Cleveland, and Cleveland would give him a haul to get whatever. Maybe they have like Deshaun and all these other players and blah, blah, blah. But I don't see Jerry doing like a crazy deal like that. He's not a guy that wants to do that. He wants like simple, he measures them by their penis size, remember?
That's right, he does. Well, he's got to get him in there to see what he's working with.
That's what he wants.
It's like the Jeffrey Epstein school of
I know.
studying.
I don't know what he's doing, but who knows? I think the Cowboys are kind of screwed too. I feel like everybody has hopes for him, and I feel like you got to make some moves in the offseason for an NFL team. If you don't make moves, you're stagnant and your team's not getting any better. Players are not miraculously going to, unless you take steroids, get that much better every season.
That's actually a good idea for the Cowboys, maybe. We're going to do some more draft talk starting next week when we're 2 weeks out to the draft, but Shedeur Sanders seems to be falling down draft boards. Teams aren't sure what to do. He's patting the ball too much. Today, on April 7th, this is sweeping the internet, that he pats the ball too much. It's like, guys, he's been doing this since the fall when we watched him. This is April. You guys had a lot of time to look at the film. I don't know why you found this out in April, but this is NFL, guys. They figure it out whenever they want to on their own schedule. They have little thoughts. No one knows anything is my point.
Do you notice that it seems like, we were talking before the podcast, it seems like somebody just tweets out something and it becomes a narrative for, let's say 20, 24 hours, maybe not even that long, maybe 4 hours, it becomes a narrative. And I think that with Sanders, I think it became just a narrative because there was nothing else. They needed content, right? It seems like we'll push out content, we'll figure out what's hot, this will go viral, we'll call it. And that's what they did today on the tariffs thing on the news that just kind of went viral, moved the stock market. And this basically, whoever can get in front of everybody, that becomes the narrative. And that's really weird because no one else, we're not going to go back and watch footage, right, of Sanders. Maybe we would if we were really invested into picking the draft order exactly or something to win a couple $1 million. Yeah. But I'm not doing that. But I just think what I've noticed lately is the narrative that gets pushed. People don't question it that much. They just kind of say, yeah, that's fucked up. He taps it twice. We shouldn't draft him. He's so bad, or blah, blah, blah. And that's really hard to get out of the narrative, especially if you're just like some GM, sitting there. Sounds like the kids operate the GM's life on some of these, like when we watch New York Giants, the kids wanted a certain player. They're like, no, we need to get this guy. And his dad didn't listen to him. But in a way, it's almost like the younger generation almost sees past it and said, no, though, this guy is good at it. And the older people like us, millennials, almost latch onto the narrative, and we can't get off of that narrative boat a little bit, which is weird.
That's
I don't know.
interesting. The kids see right and wrong better than us, where we just get caught up by the latest
Yeah.
piece of information, the latest take, like the patting the hands.
Yeah.
That becomes a take. My question to you is, why do some takes get out there and take over for 24 hours, and some takes, like ours, don't get out there? And like, what is the difference? And we have good takes too, but like, what drives the media for 24 and what doesn't? And like, what's controlling that? That's a whole nother topic.
I
but
don't
it's
know.
like a real thing.
It's almost like riding a wave. Like if one person talks about it and then randomly another and another, and then
You're
it just
describing
becomes.
an algorithm.
Well, I don't even know if it's an algorithm. Like we talked about mouth breathing last week, and there's multiple comments saying, "What are you supposed to breathe from your diaphragm? Like how do you breathe like that?"
You were an expert on that
all
subject.
These,
Were you
all
answering
these,
people's
all these questions. It's like
Yeah.
we did not expect people to comment on that part of our like a clip that we put out, but maybe other people are talking about it at the same time because it is a big like health trend right now. People
So you're
are
saying
trying-
just put a lot of takes out there and let people
Yeah.
decide what takes
Basically.
off and what's real and what doesn't. It's not up to us. And so it's not up to the expert who says he pats the ball too much or the agent who planted the story because they want their quarterback to go ahead of Shador. It's just about what the world views as a thought that should be
Yeah.
shared by more or commented on, or a
Yeah.
thought that should just die out over here and burn out. And that is kind of the social media world that we're in.
I mean, if you look at Mr. Beast, he is really good at figuring out like if people are commenting on your video, people are engaged. They're saying like, whatever it is, good or bad, if they're engaged, they're engaged. They're watching the video. Yeah. And I think that's the hard part with content. You put it out, you have no idea half the time. But if you're like researching algorithms like Mr. Beast spending millions of dollars, you kind of figure out, oh, people like when I give money, but they have to do something dumb for 12 hours. Like I'm going to sit in a circle for as long as I can. And every minute I get $1. Like crazy shit like that. And people watch it.
He's an
I watch
expert
it.
on the YouTube algorithm. He is not an expert on making or saving money because apparently he's blowing through all this money he's doing with all this content. He's not making good deals. So you can have all the answers again and still not know what this YouTube and digital
But
is like.
in a weird way, I'd say Mr. Beast, no matter how much he's spending, he's still like a wanted asset almost. It's like his channel could be worth billions. He did a great show for Amazon and people loved it. People were like, oh my God.
But they lost money they spent so much on.
Yeah. But guess what? Now he gets another opportunity to go do another broadcast
Does
show
he?
on. Yeah, of course. Of
Who's
course.
doing the next one?
There's going to be Beast Games #2 on Amazon.
I don't know. Will
I
it
don't
be
know.
Amazon? I don't know.
It's just very weird that a lot of content is just very random. Like you don't really know what hits because you just throw stuff out there. So I don't know.
It's so true. I have one
Actually,
more story. I have one more story for you.
I have one more story too. Actually, this kind of goes about content. I don't think this got like picked up anywhere, but I saw it. I think it was on the LA Times. It's by Bill Plaschke. Wasn't he a ESPN guy who used to
He
go
was on
there?
the original Around the Horn. That's how he
Yeah.
showed up on your algorithm because we talked about that a few weeks ago.
Yeah. He popped up and he had a column, which I had ChatGPT condensed down for me because I didn't want to read the whole thing because I was like, I don't believe this. But the column was, I was wrong. Drafting Bronny James was a win for the Lakers. And I said, what the hell? How is this true? And he said it was a win. So low expectations, high criticism, blah, blah, blah. They call it a publicity stunt. Started as Nepo Baby, a punchline. But he turned into a fan favorite. People started chanting, we want Bronny during
He's a fan
blowouts.
favorite. His last name's James.
He wanted it. That's another one. Impact on LeBron. LeBron is playing one of his best seasons since
LeBron
joining
just
the
took
Lakers.
2.5 weeks off with a phantom injury.
He's playing the best, and it's the first father-son duo. LeBron calls it the greatest thing he's ever been a part of. Basically, Bill Plaschke condensed it down to saying this was the greatest move that the
For
Lakers ever
LeBron
did.
James, no one is saying it's a great move for the Lakers. Even in the article, he's saying it's great for LeBron and he's a fan favorite. No one's saying the Lakers organization is happy that they did this. Also, I don't think Bill Plaschke wrote that article. Let's cross him out and put Maverick Carter there, LeBron's agent. Again, who is placing these stories? Maverick sent him a story. Maybe sent him $1,000 in Uber like we heard at the NFL Combine. The one guy is trading scoops for Uber stock, apparently.
Love it.
And so Bill Plaschke got paid off because, hey, times are tough. He's a sports writer in L.A. Jobs aren't what they used to be. He's not getting paid the same. He's on ESPN anymore. So he had to take the bag from the agent and rewrite the story.
He got me. I clicked it. So you think he's doing like a reverse Stephen A, basically.
Yeah, the Lakers can be successful without the Bronny decision being a good one. Both things can be true. Yes, they're having a good year. That's probably because of the Luka trade much more than the Bronny James drafting. It's also because of the Mavericks. So you can say the Mavericks GM is the reason the Lakers are having a good season, not the Lakers GM who drafted Bronny James. So I am very turned off by that.
We also never talked about LeBron's, what's it called? We never talked about LeBron's
LeBronization.
on Pat McAfee. This was like the first time I've ever seen him in an interview. Yeah,
It was an hour and 10 minutes. I watched the whole thing. Did you?
I did not watch the whole thing. How was it? I mean, I saw clips and I was like, I wasn't impressed by it, but I was glad he was trying to be kind of normal. Because I think a lot of times in interviews, it feels like those clips don't really go over too well.
LeBron is not a normal person. He doesn't communicate normally. He doesn't play basketball normally. He doesn't look normal with his size. Nothing about him is normal. He was a superstar in high school. None of them is normal. And he doesn't come off as normal throughout the whole hour and 10, I would say. He doesn't at all. A few things that jumped out at me were the ESPN reporters that he put on blast on ESPN. Stephen A., not surprising. I think Stephen A. keeps responding to him on YouTube, Mike. This could come to blows. This could actually be physical altercation.
Love it.
At some point, Stephen A. said he was ready for LeBron to start swinging on him at the court, at that little thing. And Stephen A. said if LeBron started swinging, he was going to swing back.
Whoa.
And Stephen A. also said he is aware he would get his ass beat in front of all the cameras, but he said he's got to stand up for himself. So that would be crazy. That would be like pushing it to like WWE story drama, physical wrestling of it.
Celebrity
the other one was
deathmatch.
Brian Windhorst, the poor guy who's just been following LeBron his whole career, just reporting on him. Nothing nefarious or crazy, nothing about like inside scoops that LeBron wouldn't want out there. LeBron like buried Brian Windhorst, said this guy thinks he's my friend and all this stuff. I thought that was really rude to Windy. Windy didn't even clap back at him, which is like a better man than Stephen A. They're going back and forth. Windy said like, no, we're not friends. It's okay what he said. So I didn't like how he called out a few ESPN personalities on ESPN, and that's like what McAfee's doing by controlling that content. ESPN has no say in it.
I mean, I guess it's good because it feels like LeBron, he's kind of coming to the end. It's almost like, when you get old, you kind of just don't care anymore. It's like, fucking Windhorst is a weird guy. Like, I don't know why he thinks we're buddies.
He can say what he wants, so that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. But I found it weird that he went on there. It felt like who in McAfee's team has a contact to reach out to LeBron to come out there to Indy? Were they playing that?
They
weekend?
play the Pacers that night, so it's kind of perfect.
So
Maverick Carter's been on the show before. I feel like the seeds were planted. I remember he came on with McAfee. McAfee might be paying. McAfee might be donating to people's charity. You know how he gives away the field goal kicking money on game day? That's McAfee's money. He's like paid a lot, and he's like putting a lot of money out there. So like,
no one's hit it yet.
More interest,
right? Has anybody
some
even
people hit? He paid out some people this season because they did it so much. But it's great. They're doing the big night out, by the way. Big night out. In Pittsburgh is what he calls it this week. And so some people think Aaron Rodgers will be there, friend of A.J. Hawk and McAfee, to say I'm your new quarterback in person on Wednesday night. So we'll see if that happens.
He's doing the announcement. What was LeBron's thing? Like the announcement or whatever when he was in
the
Miami?
decision.
The decision, yeah.
Well, this decision is more Steelers or retirement. It's not such a sexy one.
Just retire. Just call it.
The Steelers seem to think that they got him on lock.
I don't know. Well,
the other thing, by the way, that LeBron said in the McAfee thing, I know we have to go here, Mike, is he mentioned the idea that the NBA rigged the 2003 draft lottery for LeBron to go to the Cavaliers.
Really?
LeBron
said that.
A conspiracy theory like that. He said, some people think they rigged it so I could go to Cleveland for the draft. Because then they also started talking about Patrick Ewing, who ended up with the New York Knicks in 1985, apparently. Also, the Knicks magically won the lottery to keep the hometown kid in college. I think he was at Georgetown right up the road in New York City to play for the Knicks and make the Knicks more relevant, help the Cavs. Conspiracy theories all over sports. So we can.
In 2003, were they still doing those like draft lotto balls popping up?
Yeah.
I wonder how you could rig it though. Do you have like a magnetic?
Well, there weren't always cameras on there, were there? I guess there were cameras.
Well, also you could also pre-record it. Yeah. The balls all bouncing a certain way, and just get the one that
if they can fake the moon landing, they can fake the draft lottery.
Listen, the more I hear about the moon landing being fake, if you watch Apollo 11, 12, and 13 moon missions, you'll believe it's fake.
Oh, no.
Watch the video on YouTube. After you watch it, there's no way you think it's actually real, and you for sure know.
What I know we have to go. What makes you say that the most? What stands out?
I was listening to a podcast, and I said, hold on a second. I'm going to pause because they're talking about all this crazy shit like, if you're looking at Apollo 12, the blah, blah, blah. The way, like, if you compare footage today and when they were on the moon in 1960-something, the way that they have angles of, like you don't even think about it because you're so used to watching movies and film. But then when you're seeing like the lander like coming down and you're like, wait, who's filming that? And then like, how are you filming it going up? And why are there multiple shadows in certain places? And you can even see like one of them, they said it was like a test footage, but they released it as real footage. There was like some wires on some of the guys. A lot of random stuff. Just watch some of the footage. Just like, hey, what's Apollo 12 and 11? Like, give me some moon footage. Watch some of it and then come back to me and let me know if you've actually. Wow. I'll try to pull some up next week and we can watch them together just to get your live reaation.
I'll save it for that, the live reaction on the show. I love the idea. Yeah. You don't have to convince me. You have to convince our listeners. We are on the conspiracy thread. We listen, we are not crazy conspiracy theorists. We take facts. We take video.
Some people might think we are. And we lost one.
We lost him, but he's a fact-based person. I don't know.
I don't know.
He's been infiltrated. But listen, we know that not all conspiracies can be given relevance. We know that there's crazy ideas out there. What we do is we chase the real ones.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll bring the moon landing videos next week, and we'll watch them. We'll watch them at the end. We'll save it for the end of the pod next week. We'll just sit here and watch like 10 minutes.
NFL draft and moon landing video. You got to come back next week.
We're in the middle of no sports, and soon playoffs. NHL playoffs are starting soon.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, so we got some content coming. I got tickets to Kings games. Every third home game I get to go to.
That's a lot of playoff hockey.
Well, they haven't beaten the Oilers the last few seasons out of the first round, I think. So
your seats in the lower bowl for playoff hockey would be sick, actually.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I'm excited. I got my King. I even had this on. I like randomly read an email today. Yeah. All right. Good show. Subscribe to us on Substack. Go to YouTube. Subscribe to us there. Comment. If you got comments, comment away. We love the comments. We'll read them on the show at some point. Good show. See ya.